The train station, number 4, from the Raven, Revenge, and the Reckoning. 2 days later, I found me another 100 miles east of the church, following the river, flowing toward the southeast. As Buck swung along at a steady trot, I was thinking deep and thought up ahead. A couple miles on, I knew there was a town, and I was coming in from the west, and I knew the 11 p.m. train would pull out of the gate going east, and I was wondering if I was going to be on it. Couldn't rightly make up my mind, wrestled with it as the miles rolled away, and when I pulled into town well after dark, up to the train station, I thought I had my mind made up. When I hit the tracks, Buck was tired, and so was I. By the time we saw the depot lights blinking through the mist, it was full dark. Train hadn't come through yet, but I could hear it way in the distance, rumbling like a low storm on the other side of the hills. I rode up slow, took my time unsaddling Buck. He stood patient, flicking his ears and occasionally stamping his foot. I hefted the saddle off and rested it against my leg. Took a long look around, empty benches, an old lantern swinging under the eaves, and a man, gray-bearded, long coat, sitting like he'd been carved from the same wood as the platform. I nodded at him. "You looking for a horse?" He glanced over, smiled real slow. "Not looking, but I sure wouldn't turn one down." "Well," I said, patting Buck's side, "you treat him right, he'll get you where you're going." "Where's that for you?" the man asked. "Dunno," I muttered. "I might get on this train going east." I stepped inside the station, saddle still in my grip, boots echoing in the silence. There was a stove burning low and a pot of stale coffee. I poured some, even though it looked like it had been made from swamp water, sat on a bench and tried not to think. The train came in loud. Steam hissed, lights flared. I stood. As I stepped out of the depot, that damn Raven was there, right down at my feet, wings half out, making that low, throaty sound like he was warning me of something. Watched him a long second, and then I started toward the train. Just then, across the tracks, through the clouded steam, I saw him. The man I'd killed. Or thought I had. He was standing by a lamp post, coat pulled tight, looking straight at me. My gut twisted. I stopped. The Raven flapped, squawked again, louder this time. I looked down at him and then back at the tracks. Gone. The man was gone. The old man on the bench lifted his head and said real quiet like, "Thing about running, son, is you always take yourself with you." I stood there a moment longer trying to decide. That train door hung open like a question. My heart pounded. But I didn't step forward. Steam curled around me. The whistle blew, wheels screamed as the train pulled away without me. I turned, walked slow across the platform, saddle over my shoulder. I asked around, looked up and down the street. Nobody'd seen a man like the one I described. One old lady said, "Sonny, you need Jesus. There ain't no man like that you're talking about been around here tonight." Eventually I gave up. I made it back to Buck. The old man was gone too, but he left my horse like he knew I was going to need him. I flung the saddle up on his back and cinched it down, swung up slow and took one last look at the tracks, now silent, then headed east. Didn't see the ghost, didn't see the old man, just saw dust and the steady clop of Buck's hooves and the creaking of the saddle.